Well, hello. Very excited to film this video today. It's going to be about Need to Breathe, obviously based off of my shirt and the title of the video. I can't believe I haven't made a video about this yet, but it's probably because once I started this talking video channel aspect, I kind of left my Need to Breathe phase, and so it just wasn't on the forefront of my mind as it would have been in the past. So yeah, I can't wait to make my singleness video, which will be coming up soon. And by the time I'm filming this as well, like currently, I have not posted the CW part 2 yet. It's still like on one of my SD cards. I've just been frazzle brain for the past 2 weeks. So that will be up before this one, but it's not up yet. I'm also not wearing my necklaces because my mom broke it when she was brushing my hair. She was like helping me get all my tangles out because I don't really like thoroughly brush my hair that often. So really big bummer on that. It should be fixed by Saturday, but I feel like naked without them. I like always constantly play with them and stuff, and so it's very weird to not have them on. I haven't taken them off since I got them at the end of June when I was in Colorado. Hopefully the lighting is okay. It's really weird right now. But yeah, so I'm gonna make my singleness video. I'm gonna have so much to talk about with that. Things are constantly changing up in here. So yeah, I'm leaving for Maine in 3 weeks. It's not gonna be an update video. It's already the longest freaking intro ever. But I will do an update video / a goodbye video because I don't think I'm gonna be posting after that. I know, super sad. But I'm definitely not gonna be posting when I'm on the road. And then when I'm in Maine, I don't really think that I'm gonna wanna like sit down and film. I don't know, maybe I will because I'll be bored because I'll be by myself, but I also love the aesthetic always being my backyard, and I don't really want to like change it up and have Maine be in the background, but maybe I will. So yeah, just no promises is basically what that video will be, but that is coming later because there's a lot to update you on with that, and I'll talk a lot more into details about just life and everything. So things to look forward to: the CW part 2 video that shall be up by the time you're watching this video, which will be super great and nostalgic, and then the singleness video, and then the last video will be about me leaving. Okay, so Need to Breathe. My very first love of music came from this band. I obviously grew up with all the pop stuff, Hilary Duff, and things like that, Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, but I never really loved them enough, which is weird because I listen to their music all the time, but I never loved them enough to see them in concert. I think it's just like the FI value in me at the time was like, they're not good enough for me to go pay money for, or like, I don't know, maybe it was like, I don't like them as people. Who knows what it was, but probably something really like pretentious like that, and honestly just like stupid rules that I make for myself, which I make life harder. One of my friends told me that. He's like, you make life harder for yourself, and I'm like, what? But that makes life more fun if you like make it not easy, right? All these like rules that don't really make sense, but I live by them and I keep myself contained with them. So it was 2012, 8th grade summer going into freshman year of high school. I was at a car wash for my church, and Something Beautiful was playing, and I know I've heard their music before, like the 8th grade events like Oohs and Ahs and stuff like that. They would play it before youth group would start, but for some reason that day during the car wash it just like stuck with me, and I was like, I love this song, who is it by? I went home, I went on YouTube, and I looked up all their songs from their 2 newest albums at the time, which was The Outsiders and The Reckoning. And back when there was still iTunes that I paid for, I did the math and I was like, does it make more sense to buy individual songs, or am I just gonna buy the whole album? And I wrote down all the songs that I loved by them, and it made more sense for me to just buy the album than to buy individual songs. And then I listened to those 2 albums all the time. I like knew those songs by heart. I knew the second like the intro played which song it was. Those 2 albums also sound very similar. They have very similar vibes. I liked a couple songs from their first 2 albums, but like it was Daylight and The Heat Washed by Water is one of them. Like, Daddy was a preacher, she was his wife. That is like, oh, love that song, especially when we're like in the shower. I don't know, Washed by Water. So yeah, I wanted to go see them in concert, and so I convinced my parents to go with me. I think maybe my parents never really wanted me to go to a concert before as well, which really doesn't make sense because my dad goes to concerts all the time and he loves music. But yeah, so they came with me, both my mom and my dad, and we were up in the balcony. We weren't in the pit. Bummer. And I was sick. I had a cold that day, but I was like, I am not missing Need to Breathe. Are you kidding me? I am going. I also was missing my friend's event. I think she had like a youth group church event, and I felt really bad about missing, like FOMO. But yeah, so this was November of freshman year. Crazy. Wow. I'm pretty sure, was it 8th grade? No, it had to have been freshman year. That's it. That's just so crazy to me. Time really does fly. So, it was in Pomona, and they had, like a fake, what is it called? Typewriter is like their set design. And then after that, they took a gap because they had issues. The two brothers, Bo and Bear, were having some tension. And so, they took a really big gap, and then they came out with, Rivers in the Wasteland, and I went. And I think this was sophomore year. Yeah, the spring of sophomore year. So like a year and a half later, I went, and my dad and I spontaneously, I think I just was like checking their website for when they were going to go on tour or whatnot. And I saw that they were going to be in Long Beach at Fingerprints, which is a record store that my dad heard of because he worked in Long Beach. And we just like spontaneously went. We didn't really know any of the details. We just drove down to Long Beach for that day. And then we hung around until they were going to be there that night. We were like the second people in line, and I was like front and center. It was an acoustic set. There was probably only like 200 people in there. I don't know. They like cleared the store. It's a really tiny store, but they like cleared it, and like the main part is where the concert was. We waited in line after to get them to sign the poster, and poor Seth at the time, because like I was crushing on Bear and Bo, and so I didn't even have Seth sign my poster. Lame, because Seth is definitely the best. He's like the most happy-go-lucky, and I met Seth 2 times outside. He's like the only one that's ever like gone outside after and hung around. So Seth, you're the best. So then I missed the concert because I had an AP Euro test like that week, so I'm so sad I missed that concert. But then I went, I've seen them, how many times have I seen them? 16? I think I've seen them 16 times, which honestly, like, saying it, I was about to say, I think I've seen them 6 times. Like, that's a lot, 6 times. And then I was like, no, it's more than that, Stacey. It's almost 20. I'm pretty sure it was 16. But then I tell that to my friends, and I know, like, really hardcore Need to Breathe fans that have been fans since, like, the very beginning when they were, like, just starting out. And they've seen them 60 plus times. I think one has seen them 100 times. So to me, I'm like, 16 is nothing. Yeah, it's double digits, but it's nothing compared to some of the fans. So over the years, I've gotten to know a lot of the fans, at least in like SoCal area. And I've traveled to see them. This is like such a throwback because I'm not a big fan of theirs anymore. And I'll tell you why. I'll bring you on the journey. But, yeah, so they were the only band I ever saw because to me, I was like, I have to like 6+ songs of theirs if I'm going to go to a concert, and I have to like them as people. And there was no other artist that I felt that way about. I would only like 1 or 2 songs from an artist. I would never like more than 5, and I didn't like them as people. So for me, that's the reason why I only went to see Need to Breathe. It was just purely of like, I'm not going to pay money for a concert and only know 2 songs and just awkwardly stand there. So, yeah, from like 2012 to 2018, so 6 years, they were the only band I saw. And I drove down to San Diego once to see them at, like the Major League Baseball All-Star Game concert. They were opening for One Republic. And then what else? That one I was pretty far away from because they had like this VIP section blocked off, but only for Need to Breathe set. But for One Republic, they let everyone go up close. I'm like, lame. I want to be up close for Need to Breathe. whatever. And I love the fans because I didn't really love One Republic fans. This was my first time like going to a concert where they weren't like the opener, and so it was my first experience of a concert with like other types of fans, and I was like, not really vibing with you. I like my Need to Breathe folk. That's where I met one girl. Her name is Carol. She's like in her 40s or 50s, and I've seen her all the time. I saw her in Colorado and Wisconsin at 2 other Need to Breathe concerts, so lols to that. That was also when she reached out and touched Bo, and he like turned around and thought I did it and winked at me. I like would not be that bold, but let's see what else. I've seen them at the Greek Theater multiple times. The first time I saw them at the Greek Theater was I think it was for their, it must have been for Hard Love tour. Possibly no, it couldn't have been for that. It must have been in between Rivers and Hard Love. I don't really remember. A lot of it all blurs together at this point, but I was sitting in the back and I did VIP. So I paid for the VIP. It's the first time I paid for the VIP, but my dad and I were in like the bleachers up high. And after that concert, that was my second like concert of theirs. I was like, never again. I'm doing the pit next time. So yeah, pit is where it's at, never up in the stands. So yeah, I did the VIP. That was their Tour de Compadres. That's with Switchfoot. So it must have been Hard Love. But they did 2 Tour de Compadres. Yeah, so the first one was with Switchfoot in Colony House. And I think Drew Holcomb. LOL to me thinking that Colony House was Switchfoot when I met them. Hopefully I wasn't too obvious. And I think that was also when I met Seth outside. Because I stayed around the Greek Theater for like way after, and I think he came out to say hi to some people he knew, and I also said hi to him, and I was like dying on the inside, because when you're in the like backstage tour group whatever for the VIP, you don't really have a chance to really like talk to them, so that was really cool. I was like fangirling and got a picture. And then let's see. Okay, so then I do the next Tour de Compadres. I think that was the year also that I spontaneously that night bought tickets for San Diego and did like the next day at San Diego State, because I was like, that concert was amazing and I need to see them again. I think it was this year, but it could have been another year. It must have been another year because I think I was in college at that point. And I think this year I was still in high school, and I saw Megan and Mason there at the concert. Like I said, this literally all blends together at this point. Okay, so then there's the second Tour de Compadres. I think this is the year that I go to Atlanta to see them. I'm pretty sure this is the year that I go to Atlanta, and then I go to Red Rocks, and then I go to, yeah, this has to be it, because yeah, last time I think I spontaneously did San Diego State, and I was like up in the stands. And then this time I was in college, and I did, yeah, it was after my sophomore year of college, and I did Atlanta, and then I did Red Rocks, because I really, really wanted to see them in Red Rocks. It's like a famous amphitheater, like up in the Red Rocks of Colorado, and it just like has a beautiful overlook of Denver. And then I did Greek Theater again, I believe, and then I did San Diego State again. And I think this is the year that I met Tori, his wife, because she was there, and like when I was coming out of the VIP, I met her, and then I saw her again in San Diego. I think, like I said, this literally all blends together, but I know senior year I saw them, Tour de Compadres, and then I saw them again in college. And I brought my friend Kimba to, I think, 2 of their concerts. One was definitely at the Greek Theater, and I think another one was somewhere else. I think I brought Kimba twice to their concerts. One was definitely at the Greek Theater. Was the other one at the Greek Theater as well? It literally all blends together. It all blends together. And then they did an acoustic tour. And for the acoustic tour, I saw them in Wisconsin, and then I accidentally saw them in Texas when I visited my friend, because I spontaneously, like kind of last minute, decided to visit my friend, and by that point, like, I already bought my tickets to see them, and I like forgot when they were going to be in Texas, and then I'm literally in Texas, and I'm on my Instagram feed, and I see that they post that they're in Texas. I'm like, what the heck? we need to go, like we need to get last minute tickets and go to this concert. So we were like in the nosebleeds, and it was on April Fool's, and they did an April Fool's joke, and we totally missed like I think 95% of the joke because we got there late. But yeah, so I saw them then, and I was so close to like getting to talk to Seth, but he was like running somewhere else. Bummer to that. And then I saw them in Santa Barbara for the acoustic tour. I visited my friend Megan, and then I saw them down here with my dad, and they were like in small little like venues, well, small-ish venues inside, like not an amphitheater, outside, because they were doing acoustic. So that was really cool. Not all of them had pits, so some of them I did have to sit in seats, which was a bummer. But yeah, that was a really stressful time trying to like get tickets for that. And that was the last time I saw them, because then after that COVID happened, and I know they just played this past September in the Greek, but the reason why I'm not as big of a fan anymore is, one, my music taste has changed. I've opened up to seeing more artists. In 2018 I saw NF, and then I've seen Ziggy Alberts twice. I've seen, well, same tour, but like beginning of tour, end of tour, and then I saw Dermot Kennedy, I think in like 2018 and then 2019, or 2019 and then 2020, something like that. 2 different tours though. And then I also saw Harrison Storm in Hollow Coves. And that was actually the last concert I've been to, because that happened in February of 2020. So it's been 2 years since I've been to a concert. But yeah, at least like an official concert. I've been to like 2 small concerts of like local stuff, because I knew the people and the bands. But yeah, so the reason why I stopped with the Need to Breathe is I just didn't listen to their music as much. Like, I still love it if you play it, like it's like OG nostalgic. I'll always love their music. Even some of their new stuff, when I hear it like on the radio or someone plays it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is Need to Breathe. Obviously I can tell because Bear's voice is very distinct, but I know it's Need to Breathe, and it's good music still. But my style has changed. I don't really listen to them at all, really, unless I'm like feeling super nostalgic and want to play it or show someone their music if it comes up in conversation. Also, Bo left in 2020. I think it was like June of 2020 or May when he announced that he was leaving. And for me, that's like when Need to Breathe kind of ended to some degree. They feel like a different band. I mean, I know they still have Bear, which is like their vocalist, and they still have a similar-ish vibe, but Bo is a very big integral part of the songwriting and the artwork, and just kind of like their vibe. He had such a like charismatic presence on stage, very energetic, just like running around. They have a new guitar player now, and they moved Randall, the drummer, up until like the main cast or whatever, the main band members. So it's 5 now instead of 4. So yeah, that's why I am not like a mega fan anymore. I was like obsessed. Everyone knew me as the Need to Breathe girl. I talked about them all the time. I still know way too much trivia about them. Like Bo's real name is Nathan or Nathaniel, and then Bear's real name is William. Then their dad was a preacher, and they grew up in South Carolina. And like, I know that Tori met Seth with an interview that she did, because she worked for a news station, and that's how they met. He was the last one to get married. Unless they're pregnant right now, which I don't know. Like, they're the only ones that don't have kids. They own a treehouse together. He built a treehouse on his parents' property for their honeymoon, and then it turned that into a business, and then continued to grow more and more and more. Bear has been married to his wife since like he was like 20 or something like that, like early adulthood, college years. But they waited a while to have kids. Bo has older kids, and so that might have played a big part on why he left. Josh has kids as well, and he did a children's album. Bear did his own little solo career, Wilder Woods. I think one of his kids' name is Wilder. And what else? Other trivia. Let's see. Well, Bear and Bo are brothers. Seth has been the only like OG member since like the very beginning. They had a different drummer, but then he left. I think in like 2011, I want to say, maybe 2010. the song Brother came out of their feud. It was a love song that they wrote to each other, so that's really cute. Yeah, so that's that. They're Christians. They grew up in the South. They're like a Christian Southern rock band. I don't think they'd call themselves Christian though, like as like a title. They would call themselves a Southern rock band from the Carolinas. So yeah. What else? Let's see. Oh, I ran into one of their openers at the Griffith Observatory when I was with my friend Kimba. Like, I ran into him in San Diego the night before with my dad, and then I ran into him again up at the top, and it's like, I promise I'm not stalking you. Lols. I think he was a band member of Johnny Swim, like not the main two, the husband wife, but like a like random guitar player in the back. Some of them have like blown up. Some of their openers that like stand out to me are like Ellie. Well, I don't think Ellie counts because she didn't really. It was Drew Holcomb, but Drew and Ellie Holcomb have like definitely gotten more famous. Colony House has gotten more famous. Forrest Black, I think, has gotten more famous. There was this other guy, I forget his name. He was there in Wisconsin on their tour, but he has good music. Lols to me forgetting him. Yeah, so that's it. I've met them multiple times because I paid for VIP. Yeah, it's just, I got to hear one of their songs because I was the VIP. Like, I was the second group to hear the song. That was really cool. Got to see, like, the backstage one concert and, like, their jackets and stuff like that they wear for the shows. So, yeah, very cool stuff. Trying to think what else there is that I want to say on that. I think that's it because I'm saying a lot and I'm just rambling. So I hope you guys have a great day. It's been 22 minutes, so better end it now than never. And yeah, I still love this top. It's so soft. I will see you guys next time. Bye. My feet are asleep as always.